Hello and welcome back to Extra Emerson, your main source for film discussions, news, and fun games. We've got a really great episode lined up for you all. I'm Gigi.
I'm B.
And I'm Dante. Today we wanted to give you all a look into what brought us hosts into loving film in the first place. We want to talk about our childhood memories with film and talk about what films we loved or hated when we were younger. First, I want to talk about an important viewing experience when I was younger. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie was my childhood movie. That movie is so good. And when we're filming this, fun fact, 20-year anniversary. Crazy.
Wait, really?
Yes, I think.
It was like, that movie for me was like a love or hate because the scene where they got drunk, I was scared of that movie. Like, I was scared of that scene especially.
Like drunk off of the
when they kept saying like waiter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, waiter, I'm scared. So
I remember actually I have a very specific experience with the SpongeBob movie. I remember I was watching it and I got mad because my sister started choking on a chip and we had to pause it. And I was like, I was so into it, I just did not want that movie to pause. I was like, just ignore it.
I would be mad too if someone started choking when I'm trying to watch a SpongeBob movie.
I know.
Like, you can wait.
I'm trying to lock in. Like, please.
Isn't there like a new one?
A new SpongeBob movie?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
A couple.
I'd say like another like childhood favorite of mine was definitely, I loved Strange Magic. I watched that with my aunt, and I just loved it so much when I was a kid. I was obsessed with the "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger" song. So she sang that, I got very, very excited.
The other one's the monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one with the two fairy sisters and also the monsters.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but I know what you're talking about.
I haven't seen it either. Mine, I remember in my car, I had a 2005 Honda Pilot. And in my Honda Pilot, I had two TVs. Me and my sister would watch the same movie. And a movie that I remember we would always watch, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the Barbie mermaid movie with Bibble. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys watched it.
No, I know what you're talking about.
I loved that movie.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen any of the Barbie movies besides the one that came out last year. That was it.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of another random. What do you guys know about Nine? Yesterday, my roommate, I watched him. He's watching the movie Nine, and I'm like, this is the most random movie ever. Like
I remember watching that though.
Like it's about like an alien that like I forgot what it's about, but
Yeah.
about an alien.
My dad like forced me to watch that. I feel like that's another thing too. Like I feel like a lot of my childhood shows or like movies that I have a connection with, I was like forced to watch by my mom. Like she was like, I liked this film when I was a kid, so now you'll like it too. Like especially for my dad, like Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, like he loved that movie. So I watched that a lot.
Well, speaking of like holidays, I would always also watch Elf.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good movie.
That was a
a good
banger
one.
for me.
I would watch Caillou's Holiday Movie. It's great.
Oh.
I would
great.
also watch Alvin and the Chipmunks holiday Christmas movie.
They had a Christmas movie?
I think so.
I didn't know.
Either that or
What do you think so? You said you watched it.
or either that or it was just like there was a Christmas scene and it was all Christmassy.
Yes, will they sing Me I Want a Hula Hoop? That's a Christmas song.
Yeah. What about movies we hated when we were little kids?
When I was a kid, it was just like movies that I was scared of. Like when I was a kid, I was scared of Coraline. I was scared of The Lion King.
Yeah.
I was scared of Rango. I was scared of a lot of stuff.
Rango's a weird movie. I saw the movie in theaters and with my dad. It was I was like, what am I watching? What is this? I like the movie though. It's so weird that it's good to me because the plot's so goofy. But I really liked Rango.
His eyes were freaky though. That was like what threw me off.
That's
his beady little eyes.
You know what's even crazier? You know what's even crazier? Nickelodeon made that movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I didn't know that until very recently. It's just like so crazy that they made that movie.
I could have had a
scared
Rango
of,
SpongeBob crossover.
We could have.
I was scared of. Did Scooby-Doo ever have a movie?
They had a lot.
Yeah.
I was terrified of Scooby-Doo.
I loved Scooby.
I hated like the mystery stuff. It was because I was scared of it. Like every single movie that I think I watched when I was a little kid, I didn't want to watch because I was scared of it. I'm thinking of like any other movies on the top of my head, but like Scooby-Doo was mainly a big one, and then like we said, like the SpongeBob one, the waiter part for me was a big scary part. And I think when they went like below the pit, wasn't it?
Oh, the monster, where the monster.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
that did scare me.
That was also scary for me.
I hated Norm of the North as a kid. It's just, that's the
Me
first
too.
movie I saw, and I was like, this is really bad. And then it just got worse. It was like, the movie is so bad. It's the worst movie I've ever seen, to this day, I think.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. What was another one I didn't like? I feel like I had a lot. Oh, Despicable Me scared me as a kid.
Really?
But just like that scene where the little kid like falls onto the like inflatable pyramid, because I was like,
oh,
Oh, the beginning of
pyramids
this
aren't
movie?
supposed to be inflatable.
I thought that
Or
was
like-
cool.
Like the beginning of
Yeah, that scared me too. Oh my God.
I was like,
so traumatized.
why is he falling on it? First of all, he fell and his parents were not watching him.
Yeah.
Second of all, like the pyramids are not supposed to be inflatable. That's scary.
I thought that was cool. I was like, a pyramid is a bounce house?
I mean, yeah.
I thought
That's
it was
like
cool.
that's like the glass half full way to look at it.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie's that scary in general, but Ant-Man had the scene where the main villain is like this bug, and his power, he could turn people into bugs. So he goes into the bathroom and turns this guy into a bug, and then he flushes him down the toilet. And that scared me so much as a kid that I was afraid for like the next year that I was gonna turn into a bug. Some guy was gonna break in and just turn me into a bug. I thought I was so scared. I still can't watch Ant-Man because of that scene. It just grosses me out.
I would say like, speaking of like flushed away. Like
Oh
you
my
guys,
God.
have you guys
I
seen
love
that?
Flush. Yes.
Low-key, I loved that when I was a kid.
Oh my God. No, that's a banger movie.
That one was so good. It's about like this little rat guy and he gets like literally flushed down the toilet. And so he like explores the sewers and he meets like the rats in the sewers.
Yeah.
And he's like a posh like cage mouse. So, or a rat.
Speaking of rats, you just reminded me of, I loved watching Ratatouille. I mean, I still watch it to this day, but like, I think that was also on my 2005 Honda Pilot TV. But
We're getting all the details today.
I know.
yeah, it
Are you
just,
guys visualizing the Honda?
I'm visualizing Gigi watching Ratatouille.
I can see it.
I remember me being in my car seat and just falling asleep while I was driving to like Universal Orlando.
Universal Orlando, Four Seasons Orlando. No, but I just blanked. There's a movie that was thinking in my head. Oh my God, those random Christmas specials as a kid that were like that you would see one time and never watch again. There's this Christmas special called Rudolph and the Island Misfit Toys. It's like a spin-off, or like not a spin-off. It's like a continuation kind of.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. It's like the stop motion Rudolph, not stop motion. It's like this 2D animated Rudolph movie. It's so weird.
Yeah, I remember watching that actually. I think I was scared of it.
I remember the Christmas specials. I also remember like the Charlie Brown like Thanksgiving special, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those ones were always classics for me.
So
The Garfield Thanksgiving special.
Oh
was
my God,
so
the Garfield! I
fire.
love that one. It's so fire.
Yeah.
Because
I also
he was
remember
all
watching the Lorax.
Oh, the Lorax. That one scared me too.
Yeah.
That one was scary. Although the newer Lorax was not scary. I mean like the old like.
Oh, the old ones.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
one.
That did scare me too.
Because you couldn't see the Onceler's face. Like he was
Couldn't.
not singing.
He was not. He was not saying. He was not
No.
letting it grow. He was not.
Yeah.
I think we got a pretty good discussion. I think we talked about a lot of different films, a lot of different shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all we have time for with our discussion today. And now on to Parker with the news.
Hi everyone, I'm Parker, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what's happening in the film industry. First up, Stephen Knight, a writer and director known for such films as Locke and Serenity, has been let go from the latest Star Wars movie starring Daisy Ridley. He is replaced by Simon Kinberg, a writer known for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, as well as X-Men: The Last Stand. This marks the third writer change for the movie, despite Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy remaining the director. According to a Variety article, this change in writers has delayed the film yet again. Meanwhile, Knight will be going on to write the Peaky Blinders movie. Emerald Fennell shocked Netflix recently after turning down their $150 million offer for her adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Netflix outbid almost every other studio, with Amazon reportedly bidding the most, but she turned them down in favor of Warner Brothers. This was due to her desire to have a theatrical release, which Warner Brothers has offered her, along with a full marketing campaign. The Bronte adaptation will begin production at the beginning of next year and stars Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. Zendaya, Tom Holland, and Robert Pattinson have all been seen around Boston recently thanks to the new A24 film, The Drama. Zendaya and Tom have been seen across the city, hitting spots such as a coffee shop in Back Bay, Newbury Street, and the Public Garden. The stars are set to stay in Boston and surrounding Massachusetts town until mid-December. The full premise of the film, written and directed by Christopher Borgli, is still unknown, but it follows the dynamic of a soon-to-be-wed couple as they're hit with an unexpected surprise days before their wedding. After a long look of several options on who would be chosen to host the 97th Oscars, the Academy landed on comedian Conan O'Brien. This will be Conan's first time hosting the show, and comes after last year's Jimmy Kimmel hosted show. Kimmel will not be returning to the Oscars. In the last few weeks, several studios have announced new sequels for several long-running movie franchises. After being announced at CinemaCon in April of this year, Paramount has revealed that Scary Movie 6 will see the creative involvement of the franchise's original creative team, Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, and Keenan Ivory Wayans. This will mark the first time any of the Wayans brothers have worked on a Scary Movie installment since the second installment was released in 2001. Following the critical and commercial success of Godzilla Minus One, a new Godzilla film has been greenlit by Japanese entertainment company and franchise originator Toho. Though it is unclear if this new film is a follow-up to Minus One, Godzilla Minus One writer and director Takashi Yamazaki is attached. In a Hollywood Reporter piece following Ridley Scott's production company Scott Free, it was briefly revealed that Ridley Scott will be developing a new film in the Alien franchise for 20th Century Fox. No other details, including the capacity of Scott's involvement beyond producing, was given. In a recent interview, Helen Mirren discussed how lucky she felt when considering all the technological advances that have happened in her lifetime. In a quote on this topic, she explained that she always said that it was sad Kurt Cobain died when he did because he never saw GPS, and it's the most wondrous thing to watch my little blue spot walking down the street. And now for our film recommendation. Extra Emerson staff urges you to all watch Drop Dead Gorgeous, a dark comedy satire about a small-town beauty pageant in Minnesota. This cult classic stars Kirsten Dunst, Allison Janney, Brittany Murphy, and Amy Adams. The film is directed by Michael Patrick Jan and written by Lona Williams. It follows Dunst as a sweet 17-year-old girl who hopes the pageant will make her dreams come true. Along the way, though, things take a deadly turn. Although this movie is not available to stream, we assure you it's worth it to rent or even buy a DVD. And that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining me on this week's News Roundup. Now on to Reagan for our field segment.
Thanks, Parker. Today, I am once again on the streets to craft the ideal movie-going experience. Okay, we are here with
Madison.
Okay, when you go to a movie, what is the ideal outfit to wear to be comfortable?
Okay, sweatpants and a hoodie. And it has to be slides so that you could take your shoes off if you want to get comfortable and if the chairs recline. Because I feel like if you put your feet up and you can't recline your chair, you're putting them against someone else's head, the back of their head, so that's a no. And then hoodie so that you can kind of like encase yourself in it.
Ooh, I like that. I'm a very big, I do take my shoes off, and my question always is this rude and uncomfortable? But I'm loving the validation that it's not.
No, not at all. No shame. Take your shoes off. Have your dogs out.
Barefoot or socks?
Either. Yeah, either. Go for it.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I always wear socks.
I mean, no. I think maybe you should wear socks. That's more socially acceptable. But I feel like if you're barefoot, go for it. If your feet stink, maybe don't, be conscious of that.
But be self-aware.
Yes, be self-aware.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
We are here with
Elena.
Okay, Elena, when you're going to see a movie, where is the ideal location to see it? I'm talking AMC or the Coolidge or your room, or what is the best place to see a movie?
Yeah, it's definitely AMC. I have stubs.
Stubs or A-list?
A-list.
A-list. Okay, I very much agree. Thank you so much. Okay, we are here with
Jake.
Okay, I'm trying to craft the ideal movie-going experience. And for you, the question is obvious. What is the best snack to have when you're watching a movie?
I'm gonna say pretzels because it kind of hooks you up in terms of some sustenance, but it's also a fun treat while you're watching the movie. So I'd have to say flavored pretzels.
What flavor?
Dots brand flavored pretzels. It's a specific brand, but they have that garlic onion kind of vibe. Yeah.
Okay, is your mouth not gonna get dry though?
Well, you have to have a beverage, of course, too. That's the second part to the movie watching experience for sure.
And what is that beverage? Like an icy or a Coke from the fancy Coke machines?
I'm gonna say ginger ale, Canada Dry, every time.
Okay, real. Anything sweet though, or just savory?
Sour Patch Kids if you're gonna get sweet.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are here with
Nikki.
Okay, Nikki. When you are going to a movie, what is the best place in the theater to see the movie from?
I think it's row E. It's in the middle-ish. I like to be in the middle row, but also in the middle.
So dead center. When I was a kid, I thought the back of the theater was cool, but I disagree on that. I think you can't see shit.
I think the back is a little too freaky.
Yeah, there are some freaks in the back row. That's a really good point. Well, thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, we are here with
Hi, I'm Ensor.
Okay, hi, Enzor. I'm trying to craft the ideal movie experience.
Okay.
When you're going to see a movie, who is the ideal person to go with?
I think the ideal person to go to a movie with would be somebody who would have like constructive thoughts about the movie, who I could talk about it with afterward, but didn't feel the need like voice those in the moment of watching the movie. Really important is figuring out the pacing at which you both eat popcorn. I feel like that goes underrepresented in these conversations.
That's very good. No, that's very serious. I was thinking more like friends or like a date, but I actually love your answer more. Do you talk to someone in a movie or no, not at all?
I think it depends on the movie. If I'm watching Tar, I'm shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
Can I curse?
I mean, I've never gotten an answer on that.
Okay, watching something more casual or maybe like the theater is more light, then I might be like little moment like that. But otherwise, I feel like just paying attention to like the emotional moments or like catching details. If I was watching like Knives Out, like a murder mystery where it's like I gotta be paying attention the whole time for details, then I wouldn't want to be chatting.
See, for me, Knives Out, I'm like, that person did it. Like, that is a movie to me where like we are chatting. I will say, I saw Eraserhead in the theater and someone was laughing so hard. Are you like, should you go with people that like really react loudly, or are you more like, let's be demure?
I don't know. I think it again depends on the content. I'm not opposed to it. But as to the friend or romance thing, I don't think that movies are good dates.
Agree, because you can't talk.
You can't talk.
So you're just like looking at, yeah, it's awkward. I agree.
And it's like you're not even really sharing the experience. You're having like an isolated experience watching the movie, and you just happen to be sitting next to each other.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are here with
Zach.
Okay, Zach, I've been trying to craft the ideal movie-going experience, and we have one final question, which is, what movie should I go see at the AMC right now?
I watched Anora a couple of days ago. That movie's amazing. And then Smile 2 is also really good. I went in like completely not knowing what Smile 1 was, but it was still like really fun.
I'm glad you said Anora because I was actually in line for Anora and so many people cut in front of me, and then we were like the last 10 people that they didn't let in. Oh, it was jail. So I should see Anora.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
I'm here at the Max, which is a little cafe we have here on campus, buying Sour Patch Kids and dibs because I'm not paying those movie theater prices. And I know people didn't tell me to do that, but I assume that's what they meant. Hey guys, we're finally here in front of the AMC. You may have noticed there's a bus behind us, and sound quality went down, video quality went down. That's because we didn't want to sneak a camera in. Instead, we just snuck all these snacks in. Boom! You can't see, but trust. This is my movie-going outfit, picked by a dear viewer. As you can tell, we got sweatshirts, sweatpants, slides, and socks. I am not taking my socks off at this movie, but I will put my feet up. Thanks, guys. Now, I'm gonna put some red cherry in there. That just, it just feels right. Now you may have noticed who's behind the camera. Of course I have my most thoughtful friend. This is Maya Klaus, and you all should treat her right.
To an AMC theater near you.
Wow, guys, just saw Anora. We sat dead center. I ate those damn snacks. It was a little bit loud in there. The dibs melted. Anora is so good. You have to see it. It was getting really emotional at the end. I almost cried, but I didn't. Discussing it with my most thoughtful friend. Again, we didn't really have comments during it, which is as the person told me to do. We're gonna discuss it after. A lot to unpack. The theater experience, I would say, was definitely really good. Too much popcorn. Popcorn and Sour Patch Kids are not good. This outfit I should wear 100% of the time. Thank you guys honestly for coming along during this experience. I hope you know how to improve your theater experience. For Extra Emerson, I'm Reagan. Back to the studio.
For no reason whatsoever, we think that it would be best to look back on some of the past presidents of the film world and see who would be best suited as our new president here at Extra Emerson.
Each of us hosts have chosen a specific president from a variety of films that we each want to personally campaign for and who would be a good fit as a leader, and we each want to make a case for each of our choices.
I'll start. My candidate is Ellen Claremont from Red, White, and Royal Blue, played by Uma Thurman.
My candidate is Diego Dublin in Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
My candidate is President James Marshall, played by Harrison Ford in Air Force One.
And my candidate is Will Cooper from the cult classic Pixels, played by Kevin James, aka Chewie.
Okay, so reasons why Ellen Claremont should win. First of all, she is canonically a supporter of LGBTQ+ rights, and to my knowledge, none of your presidential candidates take a stance on queer rights at all. Which, given that the release dates of the movies, that probably means they're homophobic. If they were not outspoken about it. So, that's a big win for Ellen. Also, she is adept at handling international affairs. She takes two incidents that could have potentially been very, very embarrassing and just disastrous for diplomacy, but turns them into actually very positive moments that increase not only her ratings, but also rally people around queer rights. And she's a supporter of access to reproductive health care and feminism, and all around just a very positive candidate.
Okay. Well, my candidate is Diego Devlin, who is played by George Clooney in Spy Kids 3D. And if you elect George Clooney, aka Diego Devlin, you know that our country will be safe because in Spy
That's how you know.
No, it is true because in Spy Kids 3D, he brings back the whole Spy Kids. He brings back the Spy Kids family. He brings back all these famous actors who are in the movie. He brings back Dinky. He brings back he brings back the flying pig. He brings back all these. He brings back the whole family. And like history-wise, Diego Devlin, he was the head or the president of the OSS, which is the Organization of Super Spies. And he knows that, hey, like, I'm the head. That means I need to be president because, like, the Super Spies is basically like the FBI, if you think about it. Like, and it's like, he knows that he can take care of our country. He knows that he can protect our country. And like I said, he brings everyone together. He can bring, like, many countries together, and he can bring peace.
Leadership, compassionate, and tough. President James Marshall, his whole goal of the movie is to get these people off a plane. He's under attack, and they're being held hostage on their plane. What does he do? He gets them off that plane. I don't see any of those presidents getting off a plane. I think literally the Spy Kids president, he was trying to kill the spy at the beginning of the movie. I don't think he would not lead our country. And also, Harrison Ford was reelected in another movie. Why? Because he was so good. Vote Harrison Ford. Vote President James Marshall. I don't see any other president getting a whole group of people safely off a plane held hostage. That's not happening. Whether or not we want to say he can lead our country, vote Marshall. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, if we want to talk about crisis control, we can talk about Mr. President Cooper because he freaking killed it. Not only did he save America from aliens, okay? Aliens, which I think is much scarier than a plane. He saved them from the aliens. He also looked at the working man. He's willing to compromise. He's willing to do different things that we haven't seen presidents do before, like talk to washed up gamers and ask they're not washed up and ask for their opinions. Do we see anyone else doing this? No. We need gamers' opinions in office. Yes.
Do we? I don't know about it.
Specifically Pac-Man gamers. Because that's who Adam Sandler was in that movie.
All right.
And that's important.
So, like, aliens and spies are, like, cool and whatever, right? But I think Claremont is really the one that we repeatedly see handling, like, pragmatic situations that the United States actually realistically finds itself in on a regular basis. You know, the plane example is a reasonable example, but that's just one, like, very small snapshot.
And that's,
we're
like,
not
very
really seeing, like, a
common.
wider view. Yeah. You know?
First of all, yeah, that's common. And second of all,
Not getting people off of planes. I feel like people do that every day.
I'm saying he can lead a country. He stands on business, what I'm saying. Russia, the whole plot of the movie is Russia's attacking America. He stands on business. He does not let them win. He gets everyone home safely, and that just shows to me that he is a leader. Sure, your president all seem like cool people, but really, what did your president do? Stop Pac-Man? Big thing.
They were aliens.
Pac-Man.
They were bad aliens. They were really, really bad.
aliens don't exist.
Okay, Well, that could be a whole other debate. But we're not bringing that up on this episode.
I think Harrison Ford would kill an alien. If put Harrison Ford in an alien,
And that's a
Boston,
good
Harrison
thing.
You know
Ford would
what?
win it.
Who's
You're
saying
in
that
fa-
Kevin James didn't? Because
George
he actually
Clooney,
did.
George Clooney actually, I mean, President Dublin, future President Dublin, I hope, didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I don't think we
He
should be
tried to kill
immediately
Vikings.
assuming that killing the
I wouldn't
aliens
let
is
my
the best
person kill
possible
anyone.
solution.
But that doesn't matter. It's just
He's literally
sadly-
stalking kids.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Why is he so involved with children?
Oh.
Because those kids are part of the OSS, hashtag the super spies. They're part of the spies. Like,
Okay, so
George
why is he
Clooney didn't
bringing
force
children
them to
into
be.
government business.
Oh.
Okay, first of all, Junie Cortez, his sister was missing.
And?
What is President Dublin
Like, not to be insensitive, but that happens to like so many
is
people on a
President
daily
Dublin not
basis, and
supposed
I
to
think,
say-
frankly, he needed to be
You
focusing
can't
on like
bring
a more
kids into the
widespread
government.
solution.
I'm sorry.
You know?
Yeah,
you can't do that.
He's well
can't do that.
in my world you can,
Okay, well that's great, but it's not your.
and I think that's right.
Okay.
If someone wants to be a super spy and then go for it, follow your dreams, go for it. If Junie Cortez wants to be a super spy at the age
Okay,
of
so-
however old he is, go for it. Be a super
In
spy.
the actual United States, the closest thing that we have to like spies are like the CIA, and frankly, I don't think that being closely involved, like I don't think that the CIA is a good thing. The CIA has been a force for evil in the world consistently, and frankly, being closely aligned with a spy organization is not the greatest case in favor of your president.
So if we don't have a spy team, then what happens in the world?
You want to know what we'll have? We'll have gamers. Kevin James brings in people. He brings in like what has classically been used, like the FBI and the CIA, and he asks them for help. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
We also have gamers in Spy Kids Game Over 3D.
Okay.
So we can maybe unite if you want.
I'm worried that our vice president will be, if we elect that you guys as presidents, that our vice president will be like, I don't know, will be like Mr. Beast. Like, no.
No, the vice president would be Adam Sandler, and who doesn't like Adam Sandler? Also, he would wear baggy clothes. Because Adam Sandler does that. He would also go on 50 first dates. And I think we need to see more vice presidents going on dates.
And 8 Crazy Nights.
Yes, exactly. We have someone who's charismatic as VP, and then someone who will get stuff done as our president.
Listen, if we want dates, if we want romance, we really should be returning to red, white, and royal blue. I think that's like, 50 First Dates is nice and all, but we see like this beautiful, compelling queer romance, and that's what we really need in the world, I think.
Okay, so are we getting the gay boys as our president?
No.
Be real.
They are actually very closely involved in this president's presidential campaign, and also like later in their own like political careers. So yeah, we do see political involvement from them if Ellen Claremont is the president.
Whatever you say.
You were saying earlier about LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, I don't think would be against that. I don't think his character would be against that at all. Obviously, when the movie came out in 1997, they don't really go over it in the movie. But I truly don't think that he would be against that. I think, obviously, I forgot what I was going to say, but I don't think he would be against.
That's pure speculation.
No,
You have nothing. You're basing that on
I
nothing.
don't think that that's not his character at all. That's
I
not.
don't think he'd be against it, but he'd be like, don't do it in the room while I'm in there.
Wait, what?
He'd be like, I'm okay with gay people, just not in front of me. Like he'd be one of those.
And Kevin James would be okay?
Yes, look at him. He basically has a pride pin on his blazer there. He doesn't, but he would. Okay? He would.
He doesn't, but he would. Very compelling.
Yes.
Very compelling.
I just think that Devlin he just looks far more professional than all.
What?
No.
You hate women.
He's literally
No, like outfit wise.
Ellen Claremont isn't professional because she's a woman.
Lawrence, like.
Oh.
No, look at the background, look at his clothes, like look what he's
I don't care what room he's in.
Anyways, what we learned from discussion was to vote President James Marshall to all the
Vote
crew in the back.
Ellen
Kevin
Claremont.
James,
Oh,
aka
James Marshall.
Chewie.
Bro, Dublin, guys.
Thank you.
If you want the world to look like Spy Kids, game over, then you need to vote for Dublin.
And does anyone want that? No.
And now our crew will vote on who they think they should win based on our arguments.
And the winner is Diego Devlin, played by George Clooney.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, good job.
That's all we have time for on this episode of Extra Emerson. We look forward to seeing you again. Tune in next time for even more exciting discussions, news, and games based around this film industry.